I'm really trying not to burst out laughing. You'll be zooming in.
Well, it's a real thing. I mean, all of us have been using cameras now since COVID. It's like some of these cameras are just too high maintenance.
They're not all created equal. So
They're not.
speaking of not created equal, how do you like that transition?
Woo, love that.
Okay, we're talking about WordPress sites. Now, here's the thing: it may shock you that not all WordPress sites are created equal. And WordPress, it's ideal. It's ideal for creating custom sites that look exactly how you want them to look. And while custom versus theme may sound like similar terms, they actually are very distinctly different, and they will give you very distinctly different outcomes. So today we're going to share exactly what it means to have a WordPress custom site versus a WordPress theme template, and why you need to know these two results so that you know exactly what you're getting and you have no surprises. So Let's get going.
Welcome to Marketing and a Mic. Sarah and I are always here to give you all kinds of digital marketing tips. We'll run through some trends and really just provide useful guides to help your business. We really want to help you get results. So I'll start off by saying we are WordPress pros. We love WordPress.
We're junkies. Just kidding.
Yeah, we're WordPress junkies. That's all we do. So WordPress, no matter what type it is still better than in our minds, better than any other type of platform. So when it comes to WordPress design language, though, there can be a lot of uncertainty. And most often when someone says, oh, I have a WordPress site, they may think they have a custom site, but they don't really.
Yes. And there's a big difference. So when it comes to WordPress, so if you see the word theme, it's really the foundation to creating your website. And users, they're good for users to do a theme, especially if you're just starting out and you've got like a particular budget. But when you visit the WordPress site, there is actually a drop down, and we'll show little video clips, you know where to find it, of these themes options that you have. So if you go to WordPress and you pop that open, it's going to show you themes, and it really just gives you a list of themes that are in place. There's defaults, there's free themes, there's premium themes, and there's also these commercial themes, and all available for you to choose from.
Yes. It's not that they're bad. It's just it's different than having a custom one. So a theme serves as a foundation. Think of that. It's a foundation for your WordPress design, and it determines what type of look and functionality are available in each theme. Themes also come with pre-selected groups of what we call plugins or features geared towards whatever type of website that you're choosing. So, and that can limit you in the end. So you have to think about that. For example, some themes, they're categorized by the base, type of business that you have, like e-commerce, photographers, or real estate. So, again, it's like Sarah said, it's a great way for you just to get started when you're first in business. So not that there's anything wrong with the theme. It's just not what we would prefer if you're wanting to go into SEO and all of those things eventually.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. And I'll kind of show this again as we kind of go through this. But so once you apply your theme, so it's sort of these sort of placeholder, so to speak, the content to be swiped out for your own content and media, depending on the customized options of that theme, the color palette and other aesthetics can also be changed. It also has future plugins that can be applied to an active theme to help customize the look and functionality of your site. If you don't know what a plugin is, it's really if you get something and you need additional features or additional functionality, they have plugins that are available, and those will help you to add additional things that may not come in these pre-selected themes. And I'm going to go through all the other ones too as you talk.
That's exactly right. And when you look at themes, you're going to see something that says free, and you may see something that says premium. So free themes are basically kind of what you think they are. They are very limited on the customization options, and they really don't have a lot of good support from WordPress on any of their updates. They're always going to look a little plainer in design, and really, as you look through the things like where Sarah showed you to go, you're going to not have a lot of options, so the variety is limited. On the other side, premium themes are actually those websites that have been developed and updated by an actual developer, and then they're listing them for sale.
And these are some of them here. So these are sort of the more premium themes. And as you can imagine, with the cost is with you have the free themes, but the cost of the premiums, obviously it's going to be a higher. There can be anywhere from, say a pair of shoes cost to a few $1,000 to even upwards of thousands of dollars. And it's really just dependent upon, the more you pay is really based upon the more features you need and the more of a robust site that you need. So these are sort of third parties that come in, and then their sort of customized theme can be applied into a WordPress site. And I also want to show that we talked about these plugins. So again, public plugins, they talk about like constant contact forms. You've seen some of these things that they don't come with the theme. So if you're going to need some more features and functionality, that's when this stuff would come in, say additional security. So like there's just a lot of stuff that comes in that you add on and stack onto your existing WordPress theme.
Exactly. I think, as we mentioned in the beginning, it's a foundation. It gives you a place to start. Then you can start bringing in these other things that you need. So what are drawbacks that you might want to consider of a themed template versus having a custom website design? So I think you kind of got the hint that the design and style can be limited. Okay. So your website, it definitely won't be one of a kind, because again, there's people out there looking for the same things. And it will be, words are a little hard on this one. Design will be limited to the WordPress theme that it was built to appeal to a wide audience. So there's going to be other people out looking for this same theme. So you may see your website out there with another name on it.
Yeah.
So branding, I mean, if you've gone to all this trouble to create a wonderful brand and a logo, I mean, those branding opportunities are going to be limited as well, because you get stuck with the default colors and the patterns that are offered for that theme. So the limited customization may not properly reflect that hard-earned brand that you've created and spent money on. So something to think about.
That is true. That's something exactly you want to think about. So another thing to think about is excessive code and overlap. So what does that mean? So if you're using a number of plugins or have to add on a number of plugins in order to have the functionality that you need on your site, it's going to increase the amount of code and all the back-end stuff, and that will slow down your site. Because if you think about it, more code and more plugins on a theme template means just more of a chance of conflicts of the HTML, as well as possible errors in the operation of your site. Excess code can slow down your site because it's almost like bloating it up or puffing it up to have all these additional things. And so that will slow down your site, and it can become sort of an annoyance for people visiting your site if there's certain problematic or if it's not loading very fast.
Exactly. I mean, a theme is great, like we said, if you just need a website to represent you. But if you're wanting to get into these SEO things, you're going to have limited future changes and migrations. And SEO is going to be one of those main things that you can't do as well on a theme. So this is huge. I run into people all the time that they're like, oh, I've got a WordPress site. And so that's great. I mean, because we can work with WordPress themes as well when we're doing SEO, which is just not going to be as effective. And I always feel bad because they've spent money and time doing this all, and then they're like, well, could you add a video or could you add this function? It's like, no, because your theme doesn't, it doesn't allow you to do that. So this is really big. So if you want to move to a different page builder or a custom one, you could just migrate or move over your pages and content. I mean, but instead you're going to really have to start from scratch. On different themes, you can change things. But if you really want to do customized things to your theme, lot of times not going to work. And the thing is, it may look like it's going to, but the functionality is never there and as clean as it needs to be. So themes just come with these pre-applied short codes. They already know what they want it to do, and they really are watered down codes. So they're not going to allow them to, be migrated to a custom site. So you just have to be careful because you're going to be limited no matter what type you choose.
Yes, and I think that's also sort of that frustrating aspect of it of I have a WordPress site, so it should just be easy to just move it on over, and it's difficult when it's like it is, but it's got
Yeah.
these preset codes that can't be manipulated or moved or anything, so it can be a challenge. So the fourth thing to think about, a drawback, would be that there's limited support and security. So
Yeah.
support for theme templates, they can be limited. If you have to, especially if you have to add a lot of these other plugins. So if a conflict arises, or if you have to make updates, or if you have to make security updates, or whatever it is, and these things have to be done. I mean, you have to make updates, you have to do all that sort of stuff. You're on your own. You have to make sure you stay on top of it. So, these premium themes, they really are self-managing. So the business owner or someone on staff is really just going to have to be there to manage it and stay on top of updating those plugins, those updates, and so those securities, and have that know-how to do it, because the support is going to be limited, because these are supposed to be really just self-managing.
Yes, because people think once you put up a website, you don't have to bother it anymore. You don't have to do anything to it. But
Yeah.
WordPress especially comes out with monthly. I mean, they come up with monthly updates to all the things that are on there. I mean, when we host a website, we check it twice a month for updates, and we're doing updates at least twice a month. So there's a lot of back end things. So, all right, that's a template. That's what we're talking about, a template. Now let's talk about if you have a custom WordPress. What does that mean for you? Well, custom WordPress is built from scratch, and we built it to for a specific website for a company. It's created by a WordPress web developer, somebody who knows how to write code, and usually it's for a unique client. So basically you can have whatever you want. So the bulk of the customization is done to match your design, the branding, and everything you need for your specific company. You don't have to worry about will it do this or will it do that, because you can customize it to do it.
Yes, that's exactly right. So it includes really all you can think about. It's implementing design features, it's streamlining the backend code, it's creating features that really serves your specific customer base and needs. And custom WordPress sites, they typically range from, a few $1,000s or thousands of dollars to start, up to tens of thousands of dollars to start. I mean, they can really go through the roof depending on how many bells and whistles and functionality you need. So it's really just dependent upon the size and magnitude of the website capabilities that you need. These custom WordPress sites, they give business owners like full capacity and full access. You own your domain. It is yours. It is like, it's yours, and you can keep making changes on it ongoing.
Yes, and we prefer to build custom websites. In fact, that's all we do, just because we want to make sure that you have everything that you need, not only now, but in the future. So you may think it costs a little bit more up front, but in the end, it's going to save you money because, like you said, you own it, you have it forever, and you're going to be able to make updates and add to it. So let's talk about all these advantages. All the advantages that come with custom websites, or custom WordPress websites especially. So full customization, I think we've made that point, but because you or someone like us can design your WordPress site using custom modules and directly, got a bug flying, and it's all coded. They can edit the code or make the code do whatever you want. So it unlocks the full potential of the site. So it's kind of like sky's the limit. If they can write the code, then you can have whatever you want. And then the back end can be customized. This is very important, to integrate the plugins with the existing business system. There's all kinds of plugins. Oh my gosh, like review plugins. Your what's your CRMS? I was trying to think.
It's like your way of getting your customer database.
That's what I was trying to spit out. Call centers, you can do anything, social media management, all kinds of things. I mean, it is so limitless, all the things that you can customize on the back end. But again, that's what a custom one gives you.
That's exactly right, and, you don't realize how great that is until you're battling
And
the
yeah, and you
opposite
can't do
end of it,
it.
yeah. And then another real big advantage, and this is a huge SEO factor as well, is speed. So a custom WordPress site, it's generally going to have faster load time and speed and performance. And this is just because all the functionality in the site is included. And so it's just a real seamless build. And it just reduces the number of additional plugins, and because you have to remember, as we said earlier, the more plugins that you have to add, the more it can kind of weight down your site, which then it's going to make it slower. So custom sites, they eliminate all of that because all those bells and whistles are already included.
That's exactly right. And most bells and whistles can be coded in, like you're saying, versus having to load an extra plugin onto the site, which again, the speed of a website, I don't know if you guys have ever been to one that won't load. You're like, I don't have time for this. I'm moving on. So another thing is the unique design that you can get. Your branding is very important. We talk about branding all the time. So if you've really gone to the trouble to get a brand that represents your company, you want to carry that brand through, and your website's the number one place you want to make sure that you have your one-of-a-kind design and branding available. So you want it all to match, so people can feel your brand and all of that good stuff. And so custom WordPress is the answer for that, because we can code it. I say any good web developer can code it to make it look like you want. So it's particularly important that it matches your graphics and content too.
Right.
You don't want this one look over here and then another look over here. And it also is that first impression we always talk about. So a custom site's just going to give you a lot smoother look, a lot nicer look. And then if you have unique layouts, or you have to have a lot of that heavy media, animations, illustrations, anything else that you want in your design elements, it can be applied a lot more easily on a custom design site. Because again, they can code that versus having to load and load and load and load plugins. That's going to weigh the thing down. So it's just a win-win all around.
Yeah, it really is. So that's the third point. The fourth point I want to make is not the limited. Hello. This is what I was saying. I was like, I got some of these buttons in it. Want to know if I should add it and trip myself up. But is the ongoing support, because we had talked about how those themes are, it's self-managing. You're going to create it. You may think, oh, that's fun. I can put this all together. But again, we talked about there's limitations in that as well. Like you'll just have certain layouts, certain columns, certain boxes, and that's it. Like you can't manipulate it. And that also goes into talking about the support. So if you're in there and you're, putting together your site and you've got it done, and you think, okay, as you said, it's not done once it's built, it's ongoing maintenance. And with all the responsibilities that come with maintaining a site, a custom WordPress site comes with all that ongoing support. So there's less worry about keeping up with the themes, the plugins, the security, the updates. So it's just a real big advantage, and it's a huge time saver.
I will say, yeah, it comes with all that as long as you're with a company or someone who's going to support all that. So some of it's automatic, but a lot of it's not. Again, you still have to do updates. So just make sure you choose wisely. If you're not capable of doing all those things, you need somebody who can be. Also, themes, I don't know if we've mentioned that themes do expire. So we run into that all the time, where somebody had a theme and they're plugging along just great 5 years down the road, and then all of a sudden that theme's not supported anymore from anybody. So then you definitely have to start all over. So the support is very, very crucial. And even if like a conflict is found, you're going to have a team that's there ready to handle any of the issues and edit code if needed. You don't have to go, well, that plugin has expired, so it's just not going to work. Instead, we'll take the code and we'll change it around and make it work and fix it. So plugins, they can be added without conflict or downtime, and the operation of the site won't be in jeopardy. So all of that stuff can be handled again by a person that knows what they're doing. So in other words, for WordPress, it's constantly being maintained by an expert, so you can be hands off as long as you have an expert available to handle it.
Good point. Yeah. You got to make sure that you're working with the right agency that is going
Yeah,
to
because
give you
we
what
get
they should.
even custom, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over, even custom sites that I come across that haven't been updated. And so that
Mhm.
causes a problem. So yeah, you have to make sure that's available, or you have that available.
Yeah, that's important, more important than some people realize. So the fifth point is this, boy, this is a
Mm,
biggie. This is a biggie. So this is SEO and digital marketing. So with the proper implementation, again, if you're working with the right type of web developer, digital marketing agency, the SEO component of it, your custom design WordPress theme can be incorporated using a lot of those SEO elements to build into a site that's fully optimized for your online visibility. So when you are building your custom WordPress site, the professional digital marketing agency, they can bake in all of those necessary SEO elements to ensure that your website is optimized and getting for search engines and potential customers.
that's exactly right. And it's an ongoing thing, obviously. SEO, it's another ongoing thing, just like support. So you have to have that experience, or I guess expertise, available to you. So we have themes, we have custom. Which should you choose? There's a place for both. So now that you kind of understand better of what you get and what you don't get with these two different WordPress options, you'll need to consider which one matters the most to you. And it really comes down to three things, if you
Mhm.
think about it: cost, time, and flexibility. So those are the things that you want to consider when you're considering which one's right for me.
Yes, yes. So, WordPress themes, as we said, they are often much cheaper to start off. So they will cost less than a custom website. As we mentioned before, custom websites are going to start in the thousands of dollars. But like everything in life, you get what you pay for.
Yep.
And WordPress themes will get you a site, but it will give you limitations.
Yes, most definitely. And time, again, it's funny. It's like, it looks like it's easy. It looks like I can do. But once you get in there, like you said, anything in life, you're like, okay, this is a lot harder than I thought. So as we mentioned before, premium things come with a nice template to work from, but you are responsible for doing the work, or someone's responsible for the doing the work. So this means the design, not just the design, but adding the plugins, the upkeep, making sure it has security, make sure that you're upgrading all of those things monthly at least, or bi-monthly. And WordPress sites, if you're doing a custom one, it's going to take time to build.
Mhm.
So if you decide you want to go that route, normally you're going to be looking at 4 to 6 weeks before it's all complete. So you remain hands off since a team of experts is working on it, but you have to realize there's that time frame that you have to allow for a custom site. And I'll be honest, some of the people I know that have attempted the themes end up running way over 4 to 6 weeks too, because again, it's never as easy as it looks.
It's not as easy as it looks. Yeah, you've gotta it's like a kit. You gotta put it together. And yeah, the custom site, you've got somebody doing all of that for you. So the last point I want to make is the flexibility. So obviously, as we talked about with these WordPress themes, you're typically locked into a design and a configuration. So if you choose a theme, you really make sure it's got the right sidebars, the columns, the width, the header configurations. Like, just make sure it's got what you need, because you're going to be limited to any customizations down the road. So, just, yeah, you've got limited flexibility with those themes.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, there's room for both, and there are reasons to use one or the other depending on you. So, a WordPress theme is going to be dependent on the three things like we talked about: the budget, time, brand, what kind of support you have or what you need. So, there's no wrong or right way to do it. Just consider what you need your website to do and think about your long term goals.
Yeah.
So you don't have to start over anytime soon. You want it to last you a few years.
Right. That's a good point. You want to think about the long term of it. So, That's it for us today. If you're thinking about putting together a WordPress site and you're unsure what to do, or you really would like to partner with a company who can put together a custom WordPress site, we would love to have a talk with you and see how we can help you. So don't forget that we go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can catch the replay on Instagram, and be sure to check out our podcast, Marketing and Mike. If you are listening to us, thanks for listening. Be sure to leave us a review, and don't forget to check us out on our YouTube channel too, because we're always putting out all these videos as resources to you to help you in the digital marketing world. So
yes, absolutely.
That's it for us today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back in a couple weeks with a brand new show. So until next time.
Bye.